Hello, my name is Jeremy, just your average everyday guy. That is until sometime in my early 30s, I developed a spinal condition known as ankylosing spondylitis. It took me from this, 6 foot tall, to this, not 6 foot tall. But I wasn't going to let that get me down forever, so eventually I kicked some bad habits and started fighting back. I still get some pretty strange looks, but I'm now doing what I love, traveling and adventuring. My goal is to show other people with disabilities or anyone facing challenges that your best days don't have to be behind you and that there's always hope. So thanks for joining me, the Handicapped Hiker.
On the last episode, well, there was no last episode. As you may already know, due to an external hard drive issue, episode 13 remains up in the air. Hopefully I can get the data back and release episode 13 within the next few weeks. But until then, it's time to move on. This isn't how I wanted things to go, but that's life, and staying positive and adapting is everything. If you live with a disability, you already know all about adapting. So after 2 incredible action-packed days in Badlands National Park and a very scenic drive past the Bighorn Mountain Range and into Montana, let's pick up where my backed-up footage does. Okay, so Lewis and Clark Caverns State Park Campground. Got here yesterday, shortly before 4 o'clock local time, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Drove about 10 hours from the Badlands to here, only to arrive here in colder, rainy, windy weather. Again. Thankfully, the next 4 nights are going to be either in a cabin or a hotel room. So I'll get a nice hot shower and a bed. I'm looking forward to that. What I'm not really looking forward to right now is another long drive day ahead of me. Today is going to be about 8 hours. But this is what you gotta do when you need to get from one side of the country to the other in a hurry. So, no hikes planned today. I was thinking about doing some of the trails here at Lewis and Clark Caverns, but the weather just didn't cooperate yesterday, and this morning I overslept about a half hour or so. So I just, when I got up, I just felt like packing up camp and getting out of here. Lewis and Clark Caverns is Montana's first state park. It was once a national monument, but the National Park Service later determined that it lacked national significance, so it was disbanded and turned over to the state of Montana in 1937. The Lewis and Clark expedition actually passed through here along the Jefferson River, and they even camped in this area in 1805. But the caverns weren't discovered until 87 years later, in 1892.
If I'm complaining, I don't mean to complain too much. It's been a beautiful drive. The scenery is amazing. I am having a good time. Just wish things would go a little bit smoother, but that's what everyone says on every trip, so it's going fairly well. It's hard to not be happy when you wake up to scenery like this, even if you are in the car driving.
After a good night's sleep in a clean, dry, and comfortable room at the Ellensburg Comfort Inn, let's continue on to the most challenging hike of Season 2. If you watched Season 1, you know that the Bright Angel Trail in Grand Canyon National Park was the main challenge of that trip. As I'm driving in this video, two good friends of mine are flying out from Ohio to meet me this evening, and tomorrow morning is the main event of this trip, Mount St. Helens. But first, let's just enjoy some more of this unbelievable scenery.
A lot of snow up there. Please don't drink and drive. They're asking nicely, at least.
Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument, Wormflows Trail. This is the winter climbing route, and although it's almost July, the summer climbing route up Monitor Ridge is still snowed in at the trailhead.
All right, ready?
Ready.
Joining me on this hike is my longtime best friend Dave and his wife Davy Ray. Good people.
Let the torture begin.
This winter route is nearly 12 miles up and back with an elevation gain of 5,715 feet. It's no joke, with lots of rock scrambling up steep slopes, covered with loose ash, snow, and ice.
I'm going to stand next to it for reference.
This is by far the most difficult challenge I've ever taken on.
Hey, look how big this tree is!
Wow. Tree hugger. This volcano's full. It's propane.
So that's how they do it.
Half an hour into the trail, we are definitely the amateurs on this mountain. If I go missing, it was these two.
We've seen our first snow in June on a mountain.
Almost July.
Right, yeah.
Do segways go uphill?
No.
Seeing lots of patches of snow now. All right, too much snow, we're turning around. Sure is a lot of uphill. We are hating life right about now. Starting to see the mountain through the trees now. Boy, that's gonna be a long way up. Oh wow. Huh. Look at that. Okay, so it appears that we have reached the boulder field. Is there any discernible
Time to take a break?
direction to go?
I feel like up and to the left right there is probably the...
Yeah. Yeah, we could take a break, definitely.
We'll think about it while I get my other one off.
Up here to see what can be seen.
Definitely not easy. We made it a pretty good distance.
Yeah. Let's pack off.
Do you have that bug spray on you, or did we leave that in the car? It's right here. Whatever I put on earlier, I must have sweated off because they're not paying attention to it. Oh, this is ash. Look how it just like flies everywhere like powder.
These rocks are just lava blobs, right?
Probably.
Lava blobs.
I think they went this way.
Go the wrong way.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty.
Worth it.
This volcano was known as the Mount Fuji of America due to its nearly perfect conical shape. That is until May 18, 1980, when the mountain blew, wiping out all life for miles. 57 people were killed, 200 homes were lost, 47 bridges were wiped out, along with 15 miles of railway and 185 miles of highway. Although it remains the deadliest, most destructive volcanic event in U.S. history and one of the most in modern recorded world history, I'm grateful today that the summit is 1,300 feet lower. A new lava dome has formed in the crater since the 1980 eruption and has had some relatively minor eruptions as recently as 2008. There has also been an uptick in seismic activity since July of 2023, right after we were here, and its threat potential is currently listed as very high by the USGS. Basically, it's a time bomb beneath our feet, and as you'll see, a very dangerous hike.
I will go sit under that waterfall and be here when you guys get back.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, that's cold.
How you feel, Karen?
Like I make some really bad decisions in life.
Can you convince your friends to do them with you?
Almost to the weather observatory.
Okay, so we didn't summit, but we made it pretty far up this mountain, and I'm proud of that. I really am. The goal was the summit, of course, but I kind of knew in the back of my head that was a lofty goal. I'm not afraid to admit that technically this trail was above our skill set at this time. Very rugged trail, very, very rugged trail. Those of you that have done this hike know how grueling it is. Those of you who haven't done it, trust me, you don't know. There are a lot of big boulders, jagged rocks, drop-offs, high steps. A lot of the trail is loose ash and stone that slide out from under your feet. It's very hard to keep your balance, and it's a dangerous trail. But we tackled it, we did it, we tried it, and I think we did pretty darn good. I challenge anyone else to make it as far up as we did and tell me it's easy. If you're able, you should come try it. We had a good time. Wow. Heck of a view from up here too. Wow. Not a bad day at all. I've gone through all of my water. We still have a long way back to the car.
Like my handsome self just said, I knew going into this challenge that it was probably more than I could chew at this time. But I wanted to give it everything I had and see where I fell. Literally, we fell a lot. And the higher you go, the more difficult footing becomes. I'm not ashamed at all to fail this challenge. In fact, I made it further than I was expecting to in the back of my mind. So in a way, this was a win. And just look at this amazing place. This was an opportunity that not many people get or attempt. And rather than just brushing it off as impossible or too much to handle, we went for it. And that's what I've been discovering about myself lately. I may not always succeed, but I never back down from a challenge. And that is always something to be proud of.
Seems like the never-ending trail going down. We thought going down would be easier. It is not easier. This is just absolutely grueling torture. We just want to get off this mountain now. We made it.
There are plenty more daunting challenges ahead this season, so be sure to tune in for the next episode, and we'll see you then.
Well, what do you guys think? Next summer, Mount Rainier? Oh my God.
That was tough.